if you're actually watching these and if you care, thank you, sincerely, genuinely. Um, let's see here. So, okay, hold on. Let me get my bearings. Uh, so this is my fifth. I read already the sixth and the seventh one. Okay, so this one's called, so this is my eighth. It's called I Know About You. You are thrust deep into chaos from the beginning. Nothing stays in one place, and it seems to you that there's nothing to grab onto. Your tiny monkey hands can only grab onto your mother's thumb. You are surrounded by randomness and the sight of your clumsy animal body which can be injured and harmed or even killed. So yes, this is quite confusing. But you trust in your mother and she teaches you how to traverse our world. She says, here is language to make sense of things. And this is all perfectly fine news to you. The trouble is, though, that you seem to have forgotten something. Most young children appear this way, kind of just stumbling to say something. It's the most frustrating thing. You completely forgot what it is that you wanted to say. Troublesome to say the very least. So there you are, confused and with nothing to say. And to top it all off, not even your mother can remember whatever it was that you are so sure you forgot. So comes a time when you're a young child and it seems the only rational explanation is that you must have not forgotten anything. You tell yourself you're just making a fuss of things, and so you stop fussing. Here you are a few years later, convinced that you haven't forgotten anything at all, and that all should be good. Your square room is nice and your pre-scheduled day is easy. You finally know exactly what to do and you're ecstatic. You say, look, all these people can't wait to tell me what to do. There's even places I can go where other confused little things like me can go and be told the truth. This system seems so well in place, and everyone else is enjoying it, so you don't think twice. It's extremely easy to listen to them, so you do, and here you reside for a while, basking in your new easy way out. You're convinced that this must be what you forgot so long ago. But here comes this familiar nagging. This thing is here again. You still can't fully shake it. You can't spit it out, and it's at the tip of your tongue, and you're frustrated, and you can't say it because you don't know what you're saying, and, well, well what? Stop. Shh, they say. You didn't forget anything, remember? Is everything a little too much for you? Have a drink. Have you read the good book? You don't want to be called crazy, right? Have a smoke. Relax. It's been years. It's been years of being told what to do, and it's been years of hoping one day you'll meet someone who understands. But the older you get, the more discouraged you become, as it seems that nobody in their right mind knows anything. So here you find yourself, in the middle of confusion, just a bit older this time, yet again amongst the chaos and what feels like the monkey against the machine. And you think your mind is sick, because it's all starting to become kind of funny. You're starting to enjoy this torture. This story that you're writing of a monkey fighting with a big robot starts to seem almost comedic, and you realize slowly that you are indeed writing this book. And by letting go of what they say, the book becomes magical. But how dare you? They told you not to do these things because you'll go crazy, and now here you are laughing at your own life. Oh God, you say to yourself, I really did it this time. And so the cycle continues and you snap yourself out of it and off to work you go. Off to work you go. To make your money you go. You'll be happy then for sure. Off you go, they tell you. But it plays with you in such a hilarious way. A quite charming way, really. It won't let you forget about it, and it seems the most clear in a few moments. For example, when you've been listening to music for hours and you close your eyes. Or when you're hiking by a lake and catch a glimpse of a deer between the trees. Or when you find yourself late at night picking guitar strings. You even swear you saw it somewhere in her eyes while you were in her bed. Then it has the audacity to become absolutely, undeniably, crystal clear to you when you're peaking on drugs and you blow a cloud of smoke. The very thing they told you not to do from day one. And they tell you, don't you dare. It isn't like you to do those things. You're better than that. But this only works for so long. You can be convinced of something for only so long because you know. You aren't a fool. You're sure of it. It's almost other than you. It's in your bones and you know it. Try defining success as breathing and regard everything else as noise, then see what happens. Play your music. Burn what you want to burn. Get tangled up with her. Let go, but don't give up. Do whatever it is that you truly want. Because you can. That's a good one. Yeah, that's pretty good. That one kind of just speaks for itself. And this is the last one, or I guess my most recent one. I don't want to say the last one because I doubt it is. This one's titled, It Knew Before You Did. Quote, long before you ever were was the sun. Before you there was, and so were the stars, but you were not yet. After you, the stars will be, but you will cease. The jungle is, but is not like you. It's everything you aren't. It isn't like you to behave like that. You are, but are not like them. End quote. You hear things like this all your life, and after a while it begins just to sound like made-up monkey noises. You catch a glimpse of something that finally makes sense. The things that make that You catch a glimpse of something that finally makes sense in the things that make the least sense. Nature and biology and art and music and falling in love all intrigued you into an obsession with life. We are a culture of dysfunctional cells performing as a conglomerate in the body of our universe. You're given a great challenge with a purpose to love in a hateful civilization who's forgotten the point. You've always been simple, and yet it seems always unable to be understood. You've never had much to say, but your thoughts loud and full of vicious and uncontrollable love. You can't deny it as hard as you might make yourself try. As all of existence is to love and grow and connect with itself, and it's one of the only things innate in all life. It's innate in the sense that from the very moments of any life, it knows how, excuse me, it's innate in the sense that from the very first moments of any life, it knows how to love in order to grow. A baby understands to love its mother for milk and protection, while the mother understands to love in order to pass on genetic information and to have a fulfilling life. A plant understands to love a honeybee and to present it with its most outstanding colors and its sweetest nectar, while the bee understands to love the flower and participate in a crucial part in the plant's reproduction. All with nobody to tell them to do it this way. This connection of self and other through love culminates to manifest as a singularity of whole balance. This is true within the individual and within the tribe as an entity. The entirety of our universe is paradoxical. All of time and drama within all written history is merely smoke, a byproduct of the burning of life. This is evident in every black and white opposite that engulfs you. For every on in our world there is an off, and together they create a light switch. For every yes there is a no, and together they create a conversation. For every value there is no value, for every man a woman, for every flower a bee, and so on and so forth. Without one, the other simply wouldn't exist. And consequently, your state of being alive is only half the story. So the universe is by nature something of nothing, always canceling out and always returning to zero. Everything exists, and so it's no different than if nothing were to exist. Similar to the comfortable union of enemies we call atoms, addition and subtraction symbols painted onto little red and blue spheres in the science book pages in high school's paradox quite literally makes up my world. So the whole universe must appear to be just one thing. It seems impossibly true that our whole life is something like a single point of something infinite in nature and unimaginable in profoundness, thus our own life not comprehensible to our own selves, and not meant to be. Not allowed into logic, but rather ingrained into experience as something peaceful that makes perfect sense. Love. We need love. We need love now. Not yesterday or tomorrow, we need love now. There's no reason to plan for it and no rhyme in asking when the last time we had it was, just love now. We show a complete disregard for the road ahead, instead staring blankly at the rearview mirror, and this results in horrible accidents. You can't see the unavoidable unless you're looking for it, but as soon as you do, it becomes crystal clear. We all go away someday. Something other than you knows about you, and it always has, because you came from what you're not, and it's drawing you in. As without the reality of not being, you wouldn't be. So it hides within the grand comedic torture and agony of your existence, the mystery of you. The beautiful and endless puzzle called yourself that you can't even begin to solve. It reveals to you that something else, so obvious, is there, and that it is an absolutely beautiful mystery. You come face to face with this thing, every single day you live and still have no clue what it is. And this keeps you digging your hole of interested demise in desperate and frantic curiosity, until one day you finally conclude that you are it. The hole you are digging is into yourself, not into the world around you. You realize the wall between you and your life was made by you and your life. You felt incomplete this whole time because it was all a little too much for you, and you got scared and pushed it away, hoping never to see it again. But now you see, and it's right. It always has been. You were right all along, even when you were hopeless. None of this matters. You just refused to believe it before. It's different now, though. It's just a bit more beautiful after you stop having to worry about the part of yourself that you will never understand. You start to love yourself quietly, and so you watch it begin to finally love you back in beautiful disguise. So, those two are pretty deep, and I think it's really interesting. So, well, I guess the way that I do these, the way that I write these is I'll dose, like a good dose. I don't really do like, well, I mean sometimes I do like if I don't know. I don't really do like low doses. Like I kind of worked my way up to like a comfortably high dose, like well, an uncomfortably comfortably high dose, and I kind of just stayed at that. But anyways, these so like I'll peak and then right as I start to come down, I start to write. And I think it's interesting like that the first ones were kind of like first person and the more recent ones, like the later ones are it's like it's like somebody's talking to me. It's like I'm talking to me. You are thrust deep into chaos from the beginning, you know, or uh, or you hear things like this all your life, and after a while, it begins to just sound like made-up monkey noises. It's like me talking to myself, and I think that's interesting. But anyway, if you watched all these, I sincerely thank you and appreciate it. And if anybody thinks that these are a good idea or that I should keep making videos, or if anybody just wants to hear my smooth voice, uh, leave me a comment. Goodbye.